Another brick fan here with a look at all of the 2019 BrickHeadz. There were 9 total BrickHeadz sets released in 2019, most of them seasonal BrickHeadz, which have the additional side builds that go with them. One of my favorites is Dragon Dance Guy, which you see right here on the side. Very colorful, lots of detail on that, and a really nice dragon costume built on that. The normal holiday ones came out, so you have a Easter chick, a Valentine's Day puppy, a Thanksgiving Scarecrow, Halloween ghost, and a Christmas set that included reindeer and 2 elves. Additional sets we got this year were the Birthday Clown, Kylo Ren and a Sith Trooper. This is the second time we've gotten a Kylo Ren BrickHead, but the first Sith Trooper that we've gotten. And then, of course, Lady Liberty. Let's take a closer look at each of these BrickHeadz. First up is Birthday Clown. This was released in January 2019. The Happy Birthday sign that you see there actually comes with a bunch of stickers that has Happy Birthday in multiple languages. I like the coloring. I think it's very bright and festive. The hair build is done very well with a big traditional Bozo the Clown look, with the wide hair on both sides. Certainly looks better from the front than it does from the back. I do like the side builds with the birthday cake and cupcakes on one side and then the festive balloons on the other side. He, of course, is holding a gift, which I think is quite appropriate. And the big green hat fits the character very well also. His face is done really well with the big red nose, the white for his mouth, the bow tie done with the cheese wedges, and he's even wearing some red boots, which I think is very appropriate for this character. Next up we have Valentine Puppy. This is a Valentine's Day build. I like the way they did the heart, and I always appreciate how they do the flowers. This rose looks really good to me. The red tongue is a nice touch on the puppy, and the use of the different pieces for the nose make it nice. The ears articulate. They're on these clip pieces, as well as the tail is just done on a clip as well. There are flowers, bunches of flowers on either side of the puppy. The coloring is pretty good, and I like how they used a darker brown plate just under his head to represent a dog collar that goes all the way around the figure. Next up is Easter Chick. This is the BrickHead for Easter. I like the use of those 1x1 angled with the teeth on them to show off some feathers on his front there. The orange cheese wedges are great for the beak, and then the little slope piece on top is quite good. They also use the 1x2 with the 3 teeth on it as kind of part of his wings, which is nice. You can see there is another flower build here, perhaps an Easter lily, some plant pieces, as well as eggs on both sides. With the white and orange flower on one side and then a purple flower on the other side. The extra side builds that come with these BrickHeadz always add more to the model, in my opinion. I also like the feet of this chick. They're done with the 3x3 cross pieces to give it that kind of webbed foot look. Overall, a very nice looking BrickHead. Next up is our Halloween ghost. Even though this BrickHead is very monochromatic, of course it's a white ghost, there's still quite a bit of detail. I like the way they did the shaping on the bottom with the slopes and then those angled slope pieces on the bottom. You see that in front as well as on the sides. The arms stick out sideways, which is unique for a BrickHead. You see the clip pieces there go off straight out to the side, so those are built differently than you see in most BrickHeadz. The side build includes that tombstone, which is done quite nicely. The spider crawling across it adds to the creepy factor. The back has some of the same sculpting as we saw on the front, with the bottom done with those sloped angle pieces to give it a little more texture. On the other side, there's a bone in a barrel as well as one of these newer pumpkin pieces. You also notice that underneath the BrickHead there are some clear 2x2 bricks. This gives the illusion that the ghost is floating when you look at it from behind or straight in front. Very nicely done, and I like that small little detail that really adds to the character. Next up we have Scarecrow. This is the Thanksgiving themed BrickHead for 2019. You see he's got a side build with some garden plants, maybe a small pumpkin, some carrots. I like the use of the orange to kind of represent straw. The hat is well done in the nice brown, and there's also some pearl gold up on top for kind of a rim of the hat. Like the ghost, his arms come straight out on his sides, and you see those cylinders back behind there to represent the pole that the Scarecrow is hanging on. Little fences there on either side, those are angled. He does have some little patches, like you saw the red one in the front, and then there's a nougat colored one here in the back. I think the recolor of those claw pieces into the pearl gold make for a nice hand for the Scarecrow and give, again, the impression of some straw sticking out on his hands. And even though he does have feet, you see that he's up on a couple of round 2x2 bricks, which make it look like he's suspended up in the air, which is absolutely appropriate for a Scarecrow. Next up we have Reindeer, Elf, and Elfie. These are the Christmas BrickHeads for 2019. I like the signs here beside the reindeer. You have the North Pole, and then those stickers for the different signposts come in miles and kilometers. The little elf builds are about 3/4 of the size of a normal BrickHead. The coloring is very nice, so the female elf is in green and red, and then the male elf is in the opposite, so he's in red and green. They have different hats, of course. Next to the reindeer, you also see a mailbox with some letters in it and a nice sticker on the side there of Santa Claus. The reindeer looks really good. You see he has a nice little cotton tail. I think the antlers were done quite nicely. He's using a sloped 1x2 on the front for part of his nose, and then he has some of this, one of the stone type pieces underneath that shows kind of a little beard for the reindeer. Next up is one of my favorites. This is Dragon Dance Guy. This has some nice detailing on it with a lot of pearl gold coloring. You see that he's wearing a dragon costume. If you look closely up on top, you can see that his hat sticks out above his forehead there with some little teeth, some gold whiskers. You can see the eyes up on the top with some flower pieces behind them. This is one of the rare BrickHeads where the back is almost more interesting than the front. You see some nice sculpting of the dragon costume there with the pearl gold used as accents, and then the nice red and yellow pieces. There's a lot of the studs with a tooth piece here on the sides to kind of add more to that texturing. And the two lanterns with the tassels underneath them I think look really great with this figure. Overall, I just think the coloring and the way it was built and the theming of this BrickHead is spot on. Definitely my favorite out of the BrickHeads that were released in 2019. Up next we have Lady Liberty. Once again, a very monochromatic look, but absolutely accurate to the statue itself. It's in this nice weathered copper color, the sand green. You can see here she's holding her book in her left hand, and of course the torch in her right hand. The torch is interestingly done in pearl gold with a hairpiece used to represent the flame. The crown is done with a rounded piece here, and then a bunch of clipped on spikes to represent the crown that she wears. The back is not quite as interesting as the front side, so this is definitely designed to be viewed from the front. The arm is built up a lot more than you normally see on a BrickHead in order to support that torch, and you can see how the hairpiece is used to represent the flames. A very good patriotic BrickHead for the United States, and it was released in June of 2019. Last up we have Kylo Ren and a Sith Trooper. This 2-pack from the Star Wars universe is very nicely done. There's some good printing there on the Stormtrooper for his belt, not to mention his visor, the top of his helmet, and the area around his mouth. This is done slightly different than some of the other Stormtrooper BrickHead that we got earlier. The back is similar, where he has that little extra canister, it looks like, on his back, although this is done in red and black instead of the white and black you see in a normal Stormtrooper. The helmet's a little bit different design for the Sith Trooper. Still looks very good. Kylo Ren's helmet is also done similarly, as well as the cape that he has. You notice that it goes along each side as well. The big difference in Kylo Ren is the extra curvature that is used in the front to kind of give that wide look at the base and make it more look like a cowl that goes over his helmet and not just the helmet itself. A good addition to the 2019 BrickHeadz. The Star Wars BrickHeadz are quite popular, and there are many of them that have been done over the years. Kylo has some great printing, as you see here on the front as we get back around. Let's go back and I'll give you some of my final thoughts on these BrickHeadz. I'm a big fan of BrickHeadz, and I really liked a lot of these sets. Probably my favorite from the 2019 wave was the Dragon Dance guy. I think the clown is also a very nice set. The happy birthday sign comes in many languages, which I think is a good feature. You can use whatever sticker is appropriate. The holiday sets are always quite good. This year, I think probably my favorite of the holiday sets is a toss-up pretty closely with the Ghost and the Scarecrow. I like all the detailing on the Scarecrow, but I think the way the Ghost, even though it's all white, I think there were some really interesting building techniques, and I like the use of the clear bricks underneath it to make it look like it's floating. So that was pretty good to get. Also, the Star Wars sets are always good to get. I like the hood build for Kylo Ren, and the Sith Trooper coloring is just really well done. And I like some of the other building techniques that kind of make that black show through in a different way than they did with the Stormtrooper. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on these BrickHead sets. I'm going to get going on another video, and until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. If you'd like to see more BrickHeadz, I've left a link to my BrickHeadz playlist up here on the screen.